Hey guys, it's Viger, and today marks the day of a new addition to the channel. You may know me for laughing at memes made by a well-known blue glitchy hobo, and some of you may understand my affinity toward ship girls. But today we take a sharp turn into new territory of possible content, and if you haven't already read the title of the video, we're embarking on a journey into the world of SCP. So, some of you may be scratching your heads as to what the hell I'm talking about. What is SCP? Well, it's an acronym meaning Secure, Contain, Protect. It also stands for Special Containment Procedures. The SCP universe is an alternate universe where the paranormal, the supernatural, and the impossible are very much real and possible. Various anomalies all over the world and beyond exist in this reality, and it is up to the incredibly secretive organization known as the SCP Foundation to secure the anomaly, contain its anomalous traits, and protect humanity from discovering the truth about the anomalous. Each anomaly known or in containment by the Foundation is given a written file about it, as well as the means that the Foundation has created to secure the anomaly, known as Special Containment Procedures. Some of the anomalies, otherwise simply known as SCPs, are easy to contain, such as keeping it in a secure locker or basic human surveillance, while others require lengthy and complex containment procedures in order to contain the SCP, usually requiring human sacrifice to maintain containment. If the thought of human death being needed to contain some of the SCPs made you feel uneasy, oh my sweet dear child, you are in for a wild ride. Human death is a very, very natural occurrence within the Foundation. Whether it's the D Class, which are prisoners from the various jail systems around the world, usually those on death row, or members of a mobile task force, otherwise known as an MTF, many SCPs routinely kill people due to their anomalous traits. So, what can we expect from these SCPs? What are they capable of specifically? Well, each SCP is categorized with a specific object class. Firstly, a common misconception is that the object class pertains to the level of danger that the SCP possesses. The object class actually refers to the complexity of the containment procedures themselves. The 5 main classes for an SCP are Safe, Euclid, Quater, Thaw, Mule, and Neutralized. Safe class SCPs are exactly what you expect. Anomalies that are usually relatively safe to handle and easy to contain. Most safe class SCPs take on the form of an anomalous object with rather mundane anomalous effects, such as a key that can open any lock, or a pizza box that generates any kind of pizza that the subject desires. It should be noted that being a safe class SCP doesn't mean that it can't kill you, so you shouldn't let a safe SCP fool you. Euclid Class SCPs are the most common of SCPs. They require more sophisticated containment, but overall are still possible to secure properly. Most anomalous humanoids are given the Euclid classification based purely on their sentience. Any creature with free will is inherently unpredictable, so the Euclid classification stands. Such Euclids include a man with robotic limbs that reflects all damage done back to him at the attacker, or a sentient computer programmer with a bit of a bad attitude. Again, just like safe class SCPs, Euclid class SCPs are to be watched as well for possible lethality. Quater class objects, and yes, I'm pronouncing it as Quater, get over it, are quite possibly the most dangerous. Almost all have a high kill potential and require some of the most complex containment procedures ever devised by the Foundation. Such anomalies include powerful godlike entities, highly lethal objects, and various other SCPs that are even capable of ending the entire world, otherwise known as an XK class end of the world scenario. Ketters command great respect and fear among the Foundation personnel, as well as the reader. Do not tempt a Ketter. Thaw Mule SCPs are quite possibly the most interesting of all SCPs on the site. Thaw Mules follow a specific theme in that they assist the Foundation in their operations. Thaw Mules are for the most part on the same level of power as Ketters, but do not have the end of the world in their sights. Such Thaw Mules include a humanoid entity in space that warns Earth of incoming threats from beyond the solar system, or a large eel that produces a chemical that helps in the creation of the Foundation's amnestics, which the Foundation used to keep the public from knowing about their activities. Neutralized SCPs are exactly what you expect. SCPs that have lost their anomalous traits. There really isn't much else to say about this object class simply because of the self-explaining name. Such SCPs include an anomalous song that was eventually deleted off the computer it was saved on, or a telepathic spider that died of natural causes. Again, it's self-explaining. Most of the SCP files, aside from the containment procedures and a description of the anomaly, also contain various addendums that detail other events that go with the SCP, such as experiments that were conducted with the anomaly as well as the results, and even exploration logs when dealing with anomalous locations. I know there's a lot of other details and information that I'm missing, such as other groups that deal with anomalies as well, such as the Global Occult Coalition and Marshall, Carter, and Dark, as well as the different tales that expand on certain SCPs. Most of this information will have to come from future videos about specific SCPs and aspects of the SCP universe itself. So, again, I know there's a lot more that I could go into, but I think this is a good jumping off point for anyone who's new to the SCP universe and wants to know a little bit more about it. Again, this is just basically the intro into the new segue of videos that I plan on putting out onto the channel. Some about specific SCPs, SCP themes, groups of interest, different phenomena, you name it, I probably will discuss it. So, let me know what you guys think about this change of pace in the comments below. Shoot some of your favorite SCPs over my way. Join the Discord where there's a specific SCP discussion text chat to follow along with, and I think that is where I will leave it for now. We'll probably start off with just a good SCP file to get things rolling, and yeah, so I will see you guys then, and as always, toodles.